Okay, so it's been brought to my attention that there's a problem with one of the examples in our textbook. So if you go to chapter 5, and then, actually let me go back one step. So chapter 5, and then go to 5.2, and then 5.2 problems. So click on that, and then scroll basically to the bottom of the page, question number 28. These questions, if you press the down arrow, these answers are not corresponding to this question. Okay, so I just want to I just copied these questions onto my Blackboard, and I just want to take a few moments to kind of walk us through how to do these and show you how to get to the answer for these questions. So first thing, let's go ahead and read through what's going on in this question. So we have a diagnostic test, and you get a positive or negative result for that test, right? But just because you have a positive result doesn't mean that you actually have the disease or whatever the condition is, right? Ideally, you have a positive test that means that you actually have the disease, but sometimes you have a false positive. So that's a positive test, but you don't have the disease, right? So that would be condition absent with a false test, or with a positive test. Okay, so that's a false positive. Similarly, there are negative test results. Okay, and you would hope that that means that you do not have the disease. But sometimes that negative is actually incorrect. Okay, so that's a false negative. Okay, so this is our data, and then we have column totals and row totals. Okay, so 200 total people were sampled here, but this is our data. Then everything else is just kind of a total. All right. Okay. So let's see what's going on to answer these questions here. So first, we want to find the probability of a positive test given that the condition is present. All right. So whenever you see, this bar, right, it means given. So this bar here means given. All right, so this bar here means given. And what that means is that basically whatever's on the other side of this given, this is where we are. We live in the land of condition present. So we are only looking at this column right here. Forget about everything else. Okay? This is our total number of people. All right? Because it's given that you are in this land of condition present. Okay, so what's the probability of being positive in the land of condition present? Well, there's 110 people out of 130 that are positive. Okay, so this is 110 out of 130, which is 11 over 13. And you can convert this to a decimal by plugging it into a calculator. Or you can use Excel. Just type in equals 11 divided by 13. Okay? All right. So what about the next question? Negative given condition present. All right? So you're still living in this world of condition present. All right? How many of them are negative? Well, there's 20 now. There's 20 out of 130, which is the same thing as 2 over 13. Right? 20 people are negative given you live in the land of condition present. All right. What about condition absent? Given condition absent. So look at that bar and see what's been given. Given that we are in condition absent land, so this is the land we live in right now. Okay. How many people are negative? There's 50 people negative, right? Test result negative, out of 70. So there's 50 people negative out of 70, which is 5 over 7. Okay. What about being positive given condition absent. So we live in the land of condition absent. And what's the probability of being positive? How many of them are positive in this land over here? Well, there's 20 out of 70. 20 out of 70, which is the same thing. 20 out of 70, which is the same thing as 2 out of 7. All right. Okay. Condition present and positive. Now, this is, you do not see a bar. There's no bar here. So whenever you do not see a bar, right, we are living in the land where there's all of this data, right? We have all of this data here. We're in the total, we're looking at everything, okay? In particular, this right here, this original black box, this is actually our data. And then everything else is just row columns and column totals, okay? So we have this data here in this black box. Okay, so condition present and positive. How many people meet that condition? So positive and condition present, reading our 2x2 chart, we have 110 people. Okay, out of how many people are in this study? Okay, the total number of people in this study is 200, right? You can add up all 4 boxes here, and you should find that that's 200. 110 plus 20 plus 20 plus 50 is 200. Okay, so this is 11 over 20. All right, lastly, condition present and negative. How many meet that criteria? Looks like condition present, so that we're right here, and then negative is here. So I see 20 people in that box. Okay, so 20 out of how many people are in the total study? There's 200 in the total study, so that's 20 over 200, which is the same thing as 2 over 20, which is the same thing as 1 over 10, right, which is 10.1 or 10%. Okay. All right, if you have any follow-up questions, please let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.